Yeah, what's up, Wolfpack? This is White Wolf here, and I want to welcome you to the new series, to this new channel. Well, second channel, actually. And today, I want to talk about without a crystal ball. And my hot take on this entire situation surrounding her. First, let's talk about how I came aware of this individual. First off, I came aware of this individual from Bovlax. I never knew anything about her before. I didn't know who she was or where she came from. All I knew was that she was just some random YouTuber who was getting in trouble with another YouTuber who I knew about but didn't really care too much about. I didn't really care too much for it. In any case, when I heard about the situation, I thought it was a little weird and everything. And that is when I started following the story. After that, a lot of weird stuff had been happening. From her making claims of her admitting that the fact that this wasn't the only time. I became aware of a situation where it was actually admitted by her that she had actually been talking about this individual before, which is fine if you want to talk about a certain topic. But what's not fine is making up false stories against said individual who has ruined her reputation. Now, I didn't really follow the Bi sister situation, because quite frankly, I don't really care for the beauty community. That means nothing to me. That community means nothing to me. I really don't care for beauty products at all. Ironic, given the fact that I'm a girl, that I'm a woman. But I'm first and foremost a tomboy. And I don't like beauty products. I mean, I'm not shaming you if you do like beauty products at all. It's just my own personal opinion. Anyhow, once I became aware of this individual, many videos were being made until one in particular lawyer YouTuber known as, well, everyone knows her, which is Emily D. Baker, did a little reaction regarding the case between her and Toddy, which, if you're going to, which caused her to backlash which made her come out and say that she was being defamed, which, how can someone being defamed just by reacting to a document that had yet to be filed at the time? How, I ask you? I don't get that. And a lot of people didn't either. But she kept saying that she was being defamed and that Emily wasn't listening, didn't get her side, which, one, Emily wasn't making up false allegations like that. Emily was going over documents that she had, was giving her assumption on the case, and it didn't require her at all to make that type of allegation. Pretty soon, it became aware that she was actually problematic to begin with, as two other YouTubers, one I followed during this, and one I have been following long before this whole thing, which is Creepshow Art, and then another YouTuber by the name of Angelica Oles, as well as a few others, came out with stories about her either flagging their videos or harassing them online, trying to reach out to them when they were simply just copying a target, just covering an individual that she personally didn't care for and was trying to have a word with them. And afterwards began to bash and assault the creator, who had nothing, who hadn't done anything to her at this point. Other than just ignore her. And the next thing I hear is that once people were done discussing what was going on, once people were done discussing the issue regarding the lawsuit, all of a sudden I hear about a doxing situation that happened. And so I go to check it out. And I find out that the YouTuber that had been doxed was Creepshow Art. Now, when I found out about that, I felt a little protective over Creepshow. I'm not gonna lie, because, one, I love her content. And she's done amazing videos. And she doubts herself way too much. Gives herself a little too much. I'm recording a video on my phone. Sorry about that. She doubts her skills as an artist way too much. And which you shouldn't doubt your skills at all, because you're amazing at artwork if you're watching this, which I doubt you will, because I'm new to the community and not yet known. So, afterwards, a lot of people started making videos about that as well. In the meantime, it was actually brought to light by former subscribers of hers that I ended up following, that this wasn't the first time that she had actually doxed someone on the server in question, that where the dox supposedly took place at. I had heard from another YouTuber that this actually was only the second person to be doxxed. And the only reason why action was taken this time was due to the fact that the person who was doxxed this time actually had enough power to cancel the creators of the server that this wasn't happening. Only because of how big the creator was, which, in my opinion, if you're going to dox somebody, if someone gets doxed on the server, whether they're big or small, they should not have, they should be at least reprimanded, or they should have been kicked from the server regarding that issue entirely, which is the worst thing you can actually do, which I'm all for them being kicked from a server if they don't abide by the rules. That's just how I feel personally, and how everyone should at least handle the situation. And I would appreciate if she was kicked from the server the first time. Not just because the YouTuber in question was a huge influencer on the platform. That's just not the best thing. And I know a lot of you would probably agree or disagree with me, but that's how I personally view it. It shouldn't matter whether or not the individual in question is small or big. Their personal information was leaked. Information that shouldn't have been out there to the public to begin with. And that's my major gripe with the whole thing. I'm not going to applaud the person who dealt with it, because this wasn't the first time this actually happened. And the only time it actually became an issue now was because of the fact that it was such one name, some big time YouTuber with the power to end a career. I'm sorry, I lose all faith when something like that happens. Yeah, I don't care. They should have been removed the first time something like this was attempted. Not just because it's a big creator. I know, okay, so I'm going on, I know I'm ranting and staying on this point a little too long, but seriously though, that's how I feel it should be. So later, after this whole doxing situation, Creepshow took a break from social media and had to delete her Twitter because of all of the receipts that she was receiving from people regarding the information being out there. a few, and after that situation, more and more things came into light, such as how she treats her subscribers. Now, this is my second channel. My first channel is not a big channel. In fact, all I make are crappy little shippy video or crappy ship videos. For what? For now. That's what. For Five Nights at Freddy's. Mainly for a ship that I like. And I don't get much in the line of subscribers. In fact, I lose more subscribers probably due for multiple reasons, but mainly probably because of YouTube had this weird habit of getting rid of them. But that's besides the point. I'm not a big influencer on YouTube. I don't have the power to end a person's career. And would I want to? No, because that's not my goal. My goal is to state an opinion. I don't have the power to. I'm too small. No one's going to take me seriously. And they shouldn't, because, like I said, I'm new to the community. I have nothing better to do with my time. I'm just a small fry. No one should really take what I say seriously. If they do, then seriously, I'm a small creator. What power do I have? There are bigger creators that have been covering this topic more so than I have. So afterwards, she not only made, people had been trying to get her to admit and trying to get her to apologize. But she keeps claiming that she's being falsely claimed, which I've learned from observing and watching other content that she has a habit of flip-flopping on certain things. So, and then eventually the information regarding the doxing gets out, proving that it was indeed truthful from a creator that I didn't really know much about, and from what I heard, it's not very well trusted among the community as a whole. But it's just my personal take. This whole entire situation, it's just how I feel. You know, guys? It's just how I feel. It's how I feel the situation was handled. It's just how I feel about the situation. And should it have been handled better? Yeah, it should have. Everyone was being professional about it, but she wasn't. She was making claim after claim after claim that people were out to get her, which this wasn't at all the case. When it became aware, she should have, when this all came into light, she should have been willing to admit her wrong. But instead, she was more than willing to continue to deny and claim that it was false evidence when it was clearly stated when it's clearly shown to be otherwise. And she even goes so far as to claim that the individual in question, who didn't have the legal, who wanted to keep their identity private by showing off the fact that they, yes, indeed, give out their actual name on another channel, which, just because it was given out on a public channel doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. It's just what happens. There's nothing we can say or do about it to change it. Stuff like this happens. People can slip up and say things that they don't knowingly want to be public. It's not her job to point out this fact when it's clearly not her responsibility. Okay? She shouldn't have even done it to begin with. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna say, no, I didn't give out that information, she did it herself, that doesn't mean anything. Okay, I know I'm ranting on this part too long, it just aggravates me. So eventually, after this whole evidence came out, she decided to email Creepshow Art herself and share and talk in a private email saying that she didn't have permission to show the email, which, guys, Creepshow had every right to show that email. You want to know why? Because she was also the other party involved in that situation. She was the recipient. The moment that the email was sent, it was hers to do it. That's how things are. I'm sorry. It was hers to do with as she saw fit. It wasn't... The moment she was given the email, it was Creepshow to decide to do with what she saw fit. It wasn't hers. Because the moment Creepshow received that information, and received the email, it was her legal... It was hers to do with. That's generally how it works. When you receive an email, it is within your legal right to do with as you see fit. The other person, while yes, consent is a thing, but the moment that the email was given to Creepshow, the moment she received it, it was hers to do with. She could do with it whatever she chose, whatever she saw. Okay, so it didn't belong to her anymore. She was the... Creepshow was the receiver. She had that legal right to share that email with the public if she chose. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, she didn't have the legal right. It's her email. She was the recipient of that said email. She had every right to choose what to do with it. And if she wants to share it publicly with a few people, if she's willing to let people share it, then by all means. She's the one who ends up making that choice because it's her email. Her email. If you didn't want it public, then why would you send it out in the first place? And not only that, you also flat out admitted in that email that you tagged your YouTube manager and claim and flat out admitted that you did indeed leaked that information maliciously by handing it over to someone who claimed that they wanted to do a video on that person. You flat out admitted that it was malicious. And I don't blame Creepshow for wanting to call the manager.